Dallas, it's a bit more of a show than it is other places, so in that aspect maybe. But once the game starts, it's the same deal. It's football, so there's nothing different about it. I'm sure guys have played in that stadium before, so they understand it. So it's really all it is.
Will your emotions be any different for any other game on your first game back in Dallas with a different team?
I don't know. I get pretty juiced before a game, so I expect it to be the same. I don't know what it's going to feel like. It's the first time I've ever gone against an ex-opponent, so I can't really say what I'm going to feel at that time, but I'll be excited to play football. I know that. That's one thing I do know for sure.
Are there any guys on the sideline that you're kind of looking forward to catching up to, whether it's before the game or after?
Yeah, a lot of them. Maybe all of them. All the ones that I played with. So, I still talk to a lot of those guys to this day. I was texting Gallup yesterday, actually. So, there's a lot of guys I keep in touch with. I've talked to them probably every few weeks or every other week. So, I played 7 years with these guys. So there's a lot of bonds that you kind of build over the course of battling in the trenches with guys. So, naturally, when you've gone through like football war with a lot of guys, you're gonna kind of have that bond and still talk to those guys. There's nothing you can really do to take that away. So,
what makes Zeke so superior?
Zeke loves football, man. He's strong, he's powerful, and he's fast. I've always said he's got the heaviest head I've ever seen. He's got the biggest head in football. So, when he puts that thing on you, it's a little heavy. So, and he just loves football. He has fun doing it. So, and he's a great teammate.
What insights, if any, can you share with your guys about that Dallas defense?
I know a little bit about a lot more about the DBs than I know about anybody else, just because I've gone against them a lot. So I can just kind of explain what they like to do. But you can see all the stuff on film anyway, so you can tell what their tendencies are and their strengths. So I really don't have to tell them much. I don't really say anything. If they come ask me, I'll speak about it. But until then, I just I let everybody do their job. It's the same as any other week.
That touchdown that you caught last week, it was a good example of Josh kind of pulling his eyes one way, going back to you that way. Is that kind of like the chemistry has to develop on something like that? And has that been coming?
Yeah, those things take time. I was telling him after that, I was glad we finally hit one of those, because we had that opportunity a few times earlier in the season, and something happened. Most of the time, he gets a one-on-one with John, he's going to take it. So I understand that. It's kind of how it's gone a few times that we missed it. So, I was telling him I was just glad we finally connected on one of those option route, and he came back to me and put it right on the money, and it was like we've been doing it forever. So it was a good feeling and good to see that.
I know you said you get hyped up for every game, so where's the balance between using this as extra motivation, but at the same time just realizing it is another game?
I've done it long enough to where I know how to approach every game in the best way to do it. So it really just comes down to staying in the moment and not thinking too far ahead, and just staying in that every individual play and taking it one play at a time. And as soon as I learned that a little earlier in my career, I started to play a lot better, and that's what I try to do every game, no matter the game. So it'll be the same for this one too.
Do you have one memory that maybe stands out from you in that stadium?
I don't know, not really. There's a lot of good moments that we've had in that stadium, so I can't speak about one right now.
How far has the chemistry that you've developed with Josh come in since you've been here? I haven't been here that long, but how far along is the chemistry?
Yeah, it's come a long way, and I think what we do, or what I do with him, is going to take a lot more time than maybe most, just because there's a lot of freedom with the things that I get to do. So it's going to take a lot of time on task. So, but I think it's definitely moving in the right direction, and it's almost to where. It's almost getting to where we want it to be. So just those kind of things take time and chemistry and trust. So it's not something that really happens overnight.
You spent a lot of years with Jerry Jones. He was critical of Jason Garrett and that staff. Jerry's just a guy who's going to speak his mind. It's like having a different sort of ownership here in Buffalo as opposed to what you had down in Dallas.
I don't know. It's a completely different feel. It's so much I don't know. The owner's so much up at the front of things there, more so than here. So I don't know. I can't. It's hard to kind of explain the difference in that. But I mean, when you see interviews about the team and everything, it's going to be Jerry for the most part over there. It's not like that here. I'm not saying any way is better or worse, but it's just that's really the difference. You know, he's up in front of things, whereas Pagula's, you know, kind of give the coaches all the freedom and to do what they know how to do. So just two different approaches, two different organizations.
You come from a place that almost every other week are on national television. This team. Excited to see like these guys in this locker room respond to this type of opportunity and challenge, even though Josh has never been in this type of situation.
I mean, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. I'm happy about our schedule way more so here. You know, it's not fun getting home at like 4 and 5 a.m. all the time when you go to New York and playing a 7 o'clock game. So I've enjoyed this season a lot after the game's over, whereas in Dallas you don't get to do that much. So. No, these guys don't. I mean, once you get in the game, they don't care about any of that stuff about the media or nothing, man. It's just, you know, focusing on a job. When that whistle blows, you don't think. You know, it's no conscience, and these guys do a good job of playing that way. So there's really, I mean, maybe before the game they might feel it, but once the whistle blows, dude, it's not going to matter. So I don't have to tell them anything to get them ready for it.
How are you feeling?